Today we're unpacking a deeply unsettling account drawn directly from a terrifying source. It's the story of a swipe right that went horribly, unfathomably wrong. This isn't just your standard ghost story. It's really a breakdown of how sheer vulnerability can invite in something truly monstrous.
So, I want you to ask yourself, how far would you go to cure a broken heart? Think about it. When we're at our lowest, our absolute most isolated, our judgment completely clouds over, doesn't it? We crave connections so desperately that we just gloss right over the brightest red flags. For a 19-year-old named Akash, this desperate need to feel seen and loved again led him straight into a real-life nightmare. Okay, let's dive into this.
All right, Section 1, a lonely birthday night. We really need to set the scene here to understand Akash's state of mind. Picture this. It's the dead of winter in Delhi. It's Akash's 19th birthday, but just 2 days prior, his girlfriend cheated on him. 3. That is the number of hours Akash spent locked inside his freezing bathroom. Meanwhile, out in the living room of his flat, his best friend and roommate, Rohan, had actually organized a birthday party for him. Music is playing, people are laughing, but Akash is just sitting on the cold bathroom floor weeping. And to make matters worse, he's scrolling through his phone and sees a post from his ex-girlfriend announcing a brand new relationship, posted just 1 hour prior. The feelings of betrayal and helplessness just completely wash over him. So, in a sudden fit of angry, desperate grief, he downloads a dating app.
And this brilliantly illustrates how quickly things spiraled out of control. At 2:30 a.m., he's crying in the bathroom. By 2:45 a.m., just minutes after setting up his profile, he gets a notification. It's a match. The girl's name is Priya, and her profile picture is absolutely stunning. They start exchanging messages, and there's instant chemistry. By 3 a.m., the music outside has stopped, the party is completely over, and Akash moves to his bed, texting Priya nonstop. He feels so comfortable with her already that he admits he really needs a hug. Priya texts back, telling him to close his eyes and smile. When he does, he suddenly feels 2 physical hands emerge from the bed and grip him tightly. Startled, he snaps his eyes open, and at that exact second, his bedroom window mysteriously and violently shatters into pieces.
Before Akash can even process the shattered glass or those phantom hands, his phone lights up. It's Priya. She asks, "What happened? Did it hurt?" I mean, Akash is absolutely stunned. How could she possibly know? When he asks her, she literally types LOL and explains that she had just hugged him so tightly in her imagination she was worried she might have hurt him. Because Akash is so starved for affection, he completely rationalizes this terrifying coincidence. The attention she's giving him feels like a warm blanket, blinding him to what is obviously a massive early warning sign.
Moving on to Section 2, the ice-cold match. So, the very next night, Akash's roommate Rohan is out of the apartment. Akash and Priya had been texting non-stop, and she finally agrees to come over. At exactly 8 p.m., there's a knock at the door. Akash rushes to open it, and there stands Priya, looking absolutely gorgeous in a beautiful dress. He immediately pulls her into a welcoming hug, but right away there is a glaring, unavoidable sensory detail. Her body is like a block of solid ice. It's unnervingly freezing. But again, human psychology is just fascinating, right? Akash's brain instantly provides a logical excuse. He figures, hey, she's just freezing from the harsh Delhi winter outside. He even gives her his hoodie to help her warm up and get comfortable.
Section 3. Illusions and Nightmares. Now, what's really interesting about this moment is the sheer contrast between what Akash thinks is happening and reality. Akash turns away to close his closet door, and his eyes catch the large mirror mounted on it. In the reflection, he doesn't see the beautiful girl he just welcomed inside. Sitting on his bed is a terrifying woman with rotting flesh. Panic shoots through him. He whips his head around to look at the bed, but she's not there. Instead, Priya is standing over by the window, smiling warmly, holding a birthday cake she baked just for him. His mind is totally spinning, but her sweet gesture pulls him right back into the illusion. They sit on the bed, cutting the cake, and actually feeding it to each other.
But that illusion just cannot hold. Let's tally up these ignored supernatural red flags, because it escalates fast. First, the shattered window. Second, the ice-cold body. Then, suddenly, as they're sitting there, Akash is hit with an agonizing pain in his stomach and throat. He sprints to the washroom gagging, but he doesn't throw up food. He begins vomiting bizarre black and yellow bugs. He can't breathe. He wants to scream. Suddenly, he sees Priya standing directly behind him in the washroom. In a flash, the bugs just vanish. She claims the door was open and she was worried about him. Akash, exhausted and downright terrified, rationalizes it as extreme food poisoning. She puts him to bed, tucking him in with heavy blankets, her icy hands stroking his hair until he passes out. When he wakes up the next morning, the nightmare has left physical evidence. There are bloody footprints walking all over his walls, and he hears the sound of a woman crying. Peeking into the bathroom, he sees that same rotting woman from the mirror standing there, weeping tears of blood.
Which brings us to Section 4, the guard's terrifying secret. At this point, Akash completely loses it. He sprints out of his flat in absolute terror and literally drags the society's security guard back with him. But when they enter the apartment, it's completely normal. No bloody footprints, no rotting woman, nothing. But right before Akash can completely question his own sanity, the guard confirms that absolutely no one entered the building for Akash's flat the previous night, which really begs the ultimate question. Who or what was Akash with all night?
So, the crucial point here is the flat's dark, hidden history. The guard explains that before Akash moved in, the flat had sat completely empty for years. Why? Because the body of a deceased girl had been discovered right there, inside that very bathroom. When a trembling Akash asks the guard for the deceased girl's name, the answer makes his blood run cold. Her name was Priya.
That realization hits Akash literally like a freight train. He has been dating a ghost, a malicious entity. Suddenly, his phone starts ringing nonstop. It's Priya. He deletes the dating app in a total panic and completely turns his phone off. Desperate to escape, he frantically packs a bag. But as he pulls open his front door to flee, Priya is standing right there, and she is furious that he ignored her calls. Right before his eyes, her beautiful face melts and shifts back into the horrifying, rotting monster. She lunges forward, grabbing Akash by the throat and lifting his entire body off the ground into the air. With a guttural, terrifying shriek, she screams, "I won't let you go anywhere this time." Akash is suffocating. His vision is fading. But just as he's about to lose consciousness, the front door swings wide open. It's Rohan. And the very second Rohan steps into the flat, the rotting entity simply vanishes into thin air, dropping Akash straight to the floor.
And that leads us to our final section, Section 5. Some matches never end.
Let's look at the aftermath here. Akash gasps out the entire horrifying story to Rohan, and they do not wait around. They flee the flat immediately that very day and move into a completely new home, far, far away. Time passes, months go by. The trauma slowly begins to fade into the background. Life returns to a completely normal routine, and Akash convinces himself that the nightmare is finally over, that he successfully left the entity behind in that cursed apartment.
But the past doesn't always stay buried, does it? It's late at night. Akash is alone in his new flat, quietly working on his computer. His phone, which was completely dead and powered off, suddenly glows. It turns itself on. A notification chimes in the silence. With trembling hands, Akash picks it up. The screen shifts. The front-facing camera turns on all by itself, and staring back at him through the screen, standing right over his shoulder in the dark, is Priya.
And the only notification on his screen reads, "It's a match." It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The next time you feel lonely, the next time you reach for your phone in the dead of night to swipe right and find a connection, are you absolutely sure you know who is waiting for you on the other side of the screen? Think about that the next time you get a match. Thanks for joining me, and hey, stay safe out there in the digital dark.